To the heart of the Tatra Mountains, a majestic realm where heaven meets earth. In the Tatras, you will encounter an extraordinary wealth of flora and fauna, but amidst the forest clearing and crystalline, pristine streams, there lurks a rare specimen worth observing in its natural habitat, the SEO Vibes Poland Conference by White Press.
Okay, so I'm definitely no David Attenborough. Still not sure if this year's best international conference is an event you should be a part of. We invite you today to our webinar with our esteemed speakers, where you can dispel any doubts and get a glimpse of what lies ahead in May in Białka Tatrzańska. See you then!
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our webinar, Agencies in the New Technology Landscape. First, before we start for real, let us just make sure that everything works fine. So if you be so kind, please let me know in the chat if you can hear me and you can see me, of course. So let's just give you a couple of seconds before I get a confirmation. I guess that everything looks fine. So okay, without further ado, my name is Halina, and normally I am a part of the tech team and I sit back there in the corner looking if anything goes well regarding all our webinars. So today I will just run you through all the organizational details and announcements before giving the reins to the real moderator of this event. So the webinar itself is a part of White Press Academy project, and it will last more or less an hour. Of course, our entire session is being recorded, so after the webinar is done, you will all receive the recording through an email. So in this case, if by any chance you are here with us today and you haven't registered for our event through our website, now is your chance. I'm going to send you a link in the chat right now so that you can join us. Just give me a second. I will do it in just a briefest of seconds, so that if you join us through the form that I'm going to link you in just a sec, you will receive an email from us with the said recording and with maybe some additional materials. So in studio with me today is Simon. Of course, I'm not alone here. Simon is going to help me ensure that everything goes smoothly today. And if you have any questions for our guests, be sure to put them in the chat. At the very end of our meeting today, we are going to have some time in order to ask some questions, respond to some questions, so feel free to write to us. Of course, I encourage you to join our YouTube channel. Please click the subscribe button and be a part of our experience and monitor everything that is happening in White Press. And of course, this webinar is very special because this is a warm-up before our big conference here in May in Białka Tatrzańska called SEO Vibes Poland. So all the invited guests today are going to be the speakers at the main stage during the event. So if you'd like to learn more about the conference itself, be sure to check our website. I will provide you with a link just in a moment. And to spice things up, we are going to run a teeny tiny quiz in the midpoint of the webinar. And in this contest, let's call it, one of you is going to be able to win a free edu ticket for this event for SEO Vibes Poland. And now, finally, let us proceed to the main part of the event. I have some serious SEO stars with me today, so let me welcome them all. Liraz Postan, Christopher Hoffman-Laursen, Mihai Vanatoru, and the one and only Robert Niechciał, who is going to be moderating the huge chunk of the webinar. So Liraz, Mihai, Christopher, I'm so happy that you are here with us. And Robert, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Welcome all. It was so nice and smooth, especially when you display each one after a few seconds. Yeah, nice and smooth. And I hope this webinar also will be nice and smooth, but I will try to squeeze my guests as much as possible. And as the whole idea for this webinar, we will discuss agency business in the new era of AI and cutting-edge technology that is knocking out the doors. And I would like to discuss each question from three perspectives. First perspective, client perspective, team perspective, and also business perspective, and how my guests are thinking about it. And also, if there will be a room, I will try to add also technical perspective. So we will fulfill whole spectrum of ideas, concepts, and risk, chances, and yeah. So as Halina told me in the backstage, at the end of the webinar, we'll go with Q&A questions from the crowd. So if you have anything interesting, just ask on the chat. We'll moderate it, and at the end of the webinar, we'll try to fulfill all your needs. So shall we start?
Sure. Yes.
Let's go. So the first, most important for business, how SEO agencies need to change in the era of AI. In which direction should they develop their business to survive in the coming years? And here I would like to ask about chances, risks, ideas from three perspectives: client, team, and business perspective. So all of us are gentlemen. Liraz, you are.
Well, I must say like this. If we look at 6 months ago, like the entire tools have changed, the prompts have changed, everything that we know about AI have changed. So it's growing rapidly, and we have no idea how it's going to be in the next year, even if it's going to be exploding even more or staying the same at scale like this. So I would say that I talked to several SEOs, like I think 2 weeks ago, something like that. They haven't even tested SGE. They haven't even tested how the search results are looking. They haven't even like signed up to Google Labs or doing anything like that. Yeah, they're just like waiting for others to, get their hands dirty and, that's just experiment afterwards. So I don't think that's something that you should do, because your clients, I would say, how they're going to look on SERP is going to be dramatically changing. And we know that by just looking at the SGE experiments. So this is something that totally embrace it. Don't, I was like, when it first started to be with the GA4, I was like, no, I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to use it. And then, eventually you have no choice. So this is you have to make the choice and start, just experiment yourself. And of course, trying to see how incorporate this inside your business, inside your procedures, inside your, I would say, templates, way of work, to make your life a little bit more easier. But for businesses, for the client side of things, I would say try to see how a user perspective will look for them after an era of SGE or in Bing, in sort of a thing. So this is what we need to see. Like in each niche, in each Google location, it will be changed. So how is it going to reflect? What do we need to do? Should we, I would say, optimize their commerce pages, their product pages? Do we need to make any changes with their informational content to change their strategy towards more holistical view, not just SEO, but more TikTok, search engines like social media? What are the actions that we need to do for this niche specifically? So this is what I would go into tackling this, but not avoiding like, let's see what others are doing, and then I'll just experiment myself. But yeah, coming years, it's like, I think it's a very long, we don't have no idea how, everything is going to be, but as a year from now, for sure, we know things will be changed. They are changing every day, so.
Thank you very much. So let's go with alphabetical order. So Christopher,
Yes.
what's your point?
And just to introduce myself, I'm heading a team of SEOs in Copenhagen. So we're a team of 10 people just in the SEO department. And as you said, Robert, I will try to look at it from the angle of heading a team in an agency. And I think, SGE, maybe we should dive more into it later, what's going to happen. Regarding AI, of course, as an agency, and as I would say, any business, you need to embrace it. And as Liraz said, it's all about where are you actually, how can you use AI for your advantage. So, I mean, what we have done internally here is, of course, just to start out ourselves internally, the enablement of AI in the team. and of course understanding what do our internal processes look like today, where are the bottlenecks, how can AI actually help us being more efficient. I think that's like the first step of that, accepting that AI is here and finding out how we can use it right away in our business. Then of course the next thing I'm going through is of course the deliveries. How can we actually standardize deliveries? How can we improve the quality of deliveries? But as I see it, it's really about we don't know the timeline. We don't know what's coming at us. There's a lot of new tools coming out every week. We need to adapt to the situation. But one thing I think for sure is actually, I mean, the agencies who embrace AI in the future are going to be the agencies which will survive. So that's what we've done ever since, I would say, since the 1st of December 2022 when GPT 3.5 came out.
Yeah, before we'll move to Michał, let's deep dive to your answer, because you mentioned that you're trying to be more effective or streamline AI or technology inside your internal processes. Could you give us one example which our not guests, but listeners can make better using this sort of technology? Like one example?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the organizational example is actually to creating a team AI. So you need somebody, you need an AI ambassador inside the company who's actually orchestrating how we are going to use AI. And in practice, what we've done is actually we've built up a tool called Work Engine, which we're using for, as you could say, a prompt file library, a way to actually coordinate the enablement of the use of the best prompts in-house. So that's definitely like an anchor in our AI strategy. Secondly, I would say, Robert, that something like just looking at the bottlenecks of today, like what is very tedious, continuous work, what takes a lot of time in our calendar manually. How can we actually free the cognitive energy of the team members? That has been the second part. We dive more into that later as we go along. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Michał.
First of all, Robert, I'm really happy that you started your question by assessing that the online agencies need to change. This is not something that it's debatable. It's not something that someone can argue against. And based on our experience, we are currently managing more than 200 active SEO projects. And we are doing this with a team of about 80 people dedicated to SEO. First thing that we've done was to embrace AI as a partner, and we have done this in a very transparent way, facing our clients. So we have not kept this as a secret. We have not tried to, mask this in any way or another. The biggest challenge that we had in this undertake was from the team perspective, as most of the people were actually scared about what this will mean for their own jobs. If they will lose their jobs, if their job will transform a lot, if they will not like it anymore. So this was the biggest struggle that we had. Fortunately, we started very early in the process. I mean, even last year in January, as soon as the API for GPT became available publicly, we've started doing our first implementations. And right now, I would say that this is common usage inside the company. And both the people in the agency and the clients got used with AI-infused SEO work. In order to not only to survive, but also to thrive in the coming years, I think that it's super important to focus on educating more and more the clients towards the benefits of AI, and also the people inside the agency on how to use this professionally without just saving time, but also getting a higher quality output compared to their work. I recently made a small history dive into the history of marketing agencies, I would say like that. And apparently the first marketing agency was founded in 1841, was somewhere in the US, something that they called as a marketing agency. They were publishing ads in newspapers. And since then, there were a lot of changes. There were wars, there were the electricity invented, there were, internet invented. And still this type of business managed to reinvent itself, and right now it's more prosperous than ever. I'm sure that also with AI, some of the agencies will find those success angles or success perspectives in order to become and provide value on the market.
Thank you very much, and you touched very important and sensitive topic of I name it as a technological unemployment. And I have a lovely question for it, and let's go with it to deep dive from the SEO specialist and let's say employee perspective, which is very important. So the question is, what skills must an SEO specialist acquire to be good at their job in the coming years? Do you see any future jobs on SEO or agency landscape? Niechciał?
With this, from our own perspective, we've seen this more and more valuable for a person to be able to express the need or the thinking they are having. So to be able to clearly articulate what you are looking for, what kind of perspectives you want to research on, this will be increasingly important as the AI will take over most of our daily activities. Then it's also important to have a kind of critical thinking exercise in order to be able to discern on the output provided by the AI. I'm not saying you need to fact check everything, because this will double the work and will do, but you have to be able to build yourself some kind of alerts or some kind of signals that will show you if the AI output it's not really aligned with your expectations. You definitely need to have expectations when you are working with AI in order to get the results you are looking for.
Thank you very much. Liraz, what's your point?
Yeah, so I think that today we have a team of 15 people inside my team for SEO. So I kind of see today, because I'm actively hiring all the time, and I'm getting even resumes and CVs, even in the recruitment process, that are purely ChatGPT processed, and they're like purely, even the cover letter, you can totally see that it's AI. And when we're looking for people, I think these days we want to make sure that these people are not just looking at the tool, I would say, when some kind of an SEO platform pushing the SEO audit, and that's it, that's there, or looking at Screaming Frog and what's there, it's there. We're looking for people with, as Mihai said, it's like critical thinking, outside of the box, creatively thinking. What is it considered to be a competitor? What to look at? What type of strategies that you need to build? As we can make some use with ChatGPT, we can, I would say, facilitate our processes, automate our processes, create a bunch of library prompts that will just make our lives more easier. And for sure, we're doing that. But we have to get this people that will be accountable, that will be, I would say, treating the site of the client as it was their own baby, and with the care, with much of a care. When we're working with ChatGPT, all these type of AI tools, or even briefs with the making of AI and things like that, it's very cold thinking. Nothing is very much related to the niche. Sometimes not relevant to what is happening right now in the niche. So we got to have people that are actually living the niche and know exactly what's going on in the market. So this is one, to get someone that is more accountable, that knows how to work with AI, but not completely just trusting the AI tools or any SEO tool, by the way. And I think this is a struggle right now these days that we're having, because a lot of just people just like trusting too much of AI and, just like blindly going for it. And the second, I think that's one thing that I wanted to say is that also the technical part of things, we can use AI to make sure the code is working, to make sure everything that we're doing, also, by the way, with Looker Studio hacks and things, this type of things. But we also need to make sure that the person is that we're hiring is just excellent, to just like make sure that they're doing what ChatGPT right now just needs to be guided to be doing. And to educate ChatGPT or to educate an AI tool requires a lot of intelligence. So we do need to have these kind of people, because otherwise we can just replace them with another prompt, and we don't need that. It's like so even in the hiring process, when you're going into another, to be applied to another position, make sure your resume, make sure your CV, make sure your cover letter is not used by ChatGPT, because like an expert, a professional can totally see that it's made with this. So make it even short and sweet, and not just like a ChatGPT long format that you can actually read. But yeah, that's a real struggle these days, I would say, a real struggle. But yeah, that's the world that we're going to. It's like to make sure that otherwise we can just use machines. We need people to think. We need the actual brain of people. This is why the company, for me, it's brains digital, because everyone is like brainiacs. So this is why I call them like this. Yeah.
Christopher?
Yeah, exactly. I think you're right, Liraz. It's a lot about the brain, and I think just let's take AI apart. What does it take to be a good SEO specialist? It takes, what I think is, it takes curiosity, and actually, if you are a curious person, you're ready to adapt, and whether that's AI or whether it's something else, who knows? But I also think it's a lot about business acumen. Understanding business, understand a business case first before you actually work with SEO. So when I look at a profile and I can see that, for instance, they've done their own projects and they've even done their own businesses, that's actually a big plus in my book. And when it comes to AI, if they've also used AI in some projects, that will just again show me these guys are able to adapt. They're curious. That's definitely something which will be interesting for our team. So as I said before, I've been an SEO consultant for 10 years. It's only the last years that I've been head of, and I'm quite jealous at the moment that SEO consultants have AI tools next to them, because it actually leaves a lot of space to focus on the strategy, to focus on the business, and a lot of the tedious work you let some tool handle it. So I think understand as an SEO specialist, what is it that I'm wasting a lot of time on, which I can actually automate, and then focus on what's really important, which is the human factor, understanding the business of the client, and laying out the right strategy in order to get those results that we all are looking for.
Thank you very much. So,
if I can suggest,
come on.
So just one exercise for the SEO specialists out there: just ask for ChatGPT of a strategy or something, or ask a question to give you some points on a certain topic, and then try to challenge those topics. If you are unable to challenge those topics or to think different, just think about that. Everyone using that prompt will get the same ideas, the same approach, the same strategy. So on the long run, you are not really useful. I'm sorry to say that, but this will, if you are not able to challenge what the AI is telling you, or to find a different approach, or to find something different, just do this exercise in your own home, in your own privacy, and this will be like an enlightenment for yourself.
Yeah. I would like to add my perspective, and I would do it using simple shout out to the crowd. As a CTO, I truly believe that it's a once of a lifetime opportunity to be the best in something. And yeah, this idea of AI ambassador in agency, I will name it as SEO R&D or AI R&D in agency. For sure, is the future. So if you want to step out of your comfort zone, for sure, go for it. Even I would like to hire this sort of person. If you want to be hired by me and work directly with me, just pick me on LinkedIn, and for sure, I will find a room for this opportunity. And let's be the best in something. Okay, and now I would like to bring more meat to the plate. And the question is, things or processes you have already automated or want to automate using no-code tools, AI tools, and for your business, for your teams, for your clients, how to streamline, and give me some ideas, perspectives, tools, names, like golden nuggets for people just to use after this webinar. So let's go with Michał. Maybe I know you did a lot with this sort of tools. So
Sure, definitely. And as I was mentioning, as soon as the API became available, we started working with it, tinkering with it. And what we've noticed is that it's all about guiding the process. I mean, of course, you can open the ChatGPT window and start asking for one article about a certain topic. But our approach was actually to build a custom wizard inside our CRM system that is currently used by the content writers in order to generate high quality articles. And this wizard, it's powered by AI in each step. And we have steps to generate the title according to a topic that is targeted by the client, and AI is providing ideas with benefits and strong points and weaker points. The content writer is choosing the perfect title, or it's editing it a bit. Then at the next step, we are asking for structures. Again, the AI is providing different types of structures based on all the additional information. The main idea is that by using this type of wizard that is totally under your control, you can very well control the process and control the prompts. We are dynamically generating advanced prompts with a lot of context in order to get high quality responses from AI. After the structure that is also reviewed by the content writer, there is a next step where you have main points in each chapter. Then there is a next step where you have the paragraphs for each that develop those ideas, so on and so forth. In the end, you end up with an article that is built up from 20 or 25 prompts, and that is very high quality, and it's automatically checked by plagiarism and AI detectors. This is one use case that we've done. I can also tell you more about others, but I will.
But any business tools like dashboards, analytics, cash flow, whatever, which help you?
Not really. We are using no-code tools in order to make MVPs. So we are internally using make.com to generate some kind of flows. But we have the internal processes and the internal resources in order to actually build the APIs, build upon the APIs, and to interact directly with the systems from ChatGPT or from Claude.
Thank you very much. Liraz, Christopher, you want to add something?
Yes, I have some ideas.
Great.
So first, we're using, I would say, ChatGPT and its plugins. So we're using some plugins for, data analysis and things like that, which I think makes our lives really, really much easier. For example, we took an output of one of our clients. We wanted to know what are the pain points. The sales team was struggling to get an appointment with us, and we were really keen to know what are the pain points that the users are actually going to find the solution of the customer. So, for example, we took all the outputs, I think 600 leads, something like that they got in the lead form. We gave that to ChatGPT in Excel sheet, and we gave them an analysis just like to create a pie or create the percentages of what are the reasons that people are coming to this website. And we got blowing-minded results. And we tailor-made to this content strategy that we already did, and we made changes to it, and we created an FAQ section in bite of that. So we use ChatGPT for all this flow. I think this is like a really nice thing. The client was able just to pull out the leads output forms like really easily. There was no, struggling to get like any, like to listening to a sales call or anything like that. It just like in 5 minutes, we got everything that we needed. And the second is prediction, which is really cool because you can use, some of the plugins with the data analysis, or I would like a data expert is thing like this. So you can get the prediction for an SEO campaign. You can get a prediction for a business that you want to buy or sell, for example, which is really cool. I recently sold one of my really well-performing affiliate websites, and I just asked ChatGPT with this plugin to predict what it's going to be the cost, like the sales from it, like in 2 years from now, so I can create, the formula that I want to sell this business. Just like mind blowing. So I really suggest there's a lot of SEO plugins over there, but also the data one. Like I think SEO, most of the SEOs are more either technical or either more content people, and the data part, because it's not like written in stones like it used to be like 15 years ago when you had like Google Analytics with the keyword there and everything. So data plugins with ChatGPT works really well for SEO. Just try it out. It's really cool.
So you mean some sort of campaign forecasts or something like that, like estimation, yeah?
Yeah, you just need to feed the data over there, but yeah.
I know it. I think it's a great idea for every agency on the webinar just to use this sort of plugins for better estimation of your campaigns. Yeah, great idea. Yeah. Thank you for it, Christopher. Anything to add from your end?
Well, I mean, just as with Michal, I would say we have the same kind of processes of prompting content and really trying to spread it out across consultants. I think that is the big challenge. And of course, we have our own file library for that. I would say as well, I would actually look at the full production side, because we have clients where we can have bottlenecks everywhere, right? So even in the publishing part, that could actually be a place where we have to go in and look, is there something we could automate here? And for instance, we're using make.com and Airtable in order for us actually to produce articles which go directly into draft mode in the client's WordPress, for instance. So that actually means that we are, before we were actually handling over documents with content we had written, and they had to put it into their CMS, and it's just another part of the bottleneck. Perhaps they have an expert in-house who needs to check the content first, but right there we can actually just skip a step and push it into the draft mode, which helps us be more efficient when we want to do a 10x of content with the same resources as before. And I think we all talk about content production, but I think there's a lot before regarding the analysis where you can really do something more smart, and there's also a lot of pre-production to get things into draft mode. Then maybe I'll just open up, Robert, and I don't know whether this is going to end, but user agents, that's a whole topic on its own. It's something we're just getting started on. I know that's probably also something that's high on your agenda, but just for something like a very tedious task of having to resubmit pages which are crawled by Google but not indexed, and you have to put up the URL in the URL inspection tool in Search Console. I mean, with a user agent like Multion, we're actually having this to be a routine thing. Right? So we look at pages which are crawled and not indexed this week or this month. We have a script for Multion, the user agent, and we actually put in there the prompt plus the URLs, and it actually, while you're drinking your coffee, it actually goes in, and each URL, after each URL, it actually does the process for you. So that's really something where you can again say that's where we're freeing up a cognitive space for the consultants. It's definitely something to look more into. I would say user agents. We are at a very basic level right now, but that's definitely the direction that I would take our agency.
I love your expression about this cognitive resources. I love it. Before we move to more business-focused question, Halina would like to show us something. So, Halina, come on.
Hi, it's me. Okay, so I will just take 2 minutes of your time, so you can treat it as a short break before the next portion of questions. So once again, I encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can become the part of our YouTube community. But of course, we remember why are we here, right? This is in order to tune in for the upcoming SEO Vibes Poland conference in Białka Tatrzańska. So now the question is, maybe you would like to join us. So now is your chance. I have a super quick question for you. So here's the question, and I will read it out. The question is, as of today, how many participants are registered for our conference? So you can take a wild guess, and whoever guesses the number closest to our current number of registered participants will win the ticket. I will let you all guys know who the lucky winner is at the very end of the webinar. And as I was saying at the very beginning, the grand prize is the Edu ticket for our conference. And before we jump back into the heated discussion of the current state of the contemporary agencies, let me roll you a short clip about what the conference is going to be and what's going to be. More than 30 speakers, masterminds, 2 stages, workshops, creme de la creme of the industry. And additionally, we have amazing hotel located in a beautiful surrounding, beautiful landscape. We have spa, thermal baths, after party, networking, and so much more. So I will delay it no longer. So let's roll the clip and we are going back to the questions.
Total of 19 events across Europe, meeting with nearly 2,000 SEO experts and marketers. The biggest event in Zakopane received a staggering rating of 9.16 out of 10. Our initiative is recommended by industry stars from all around the world, such as Matt Diggity, Kyle Roof, Robert Niechciał. This year, we're aiming even higher. To say it's going to be big is just an understatement. We'll see you in between May 15th and 18 at SEO Vibes Poland in Białka Tatrzańska. We're introducing a new format inspired by top festivals. The main stage will be filled with global stars, while the marketing stage will be packed with case studies, a perfect place to gain valuable knowledge from quick lectures. If you prefer an intimate atmosphere and a different format, we've got you covered. We've prepared masterminds and several workshops led by renowned experts like Korej Tukberg-Gubur, Ewelina Podres-Siama, Damian Sałkowski. Want to relax? After such a wealth of knowledge, we have planned relaxation at the highest level, thermal baths, jacuzzis, saunas, and one of the top hotels in the region. We bet this will be the best event of the year. So will you join us?
To be honest, I can't wait, especially for the sauna. Yeah. So as I already introduced, let's move on to business perspective a bit. And I think all of you already mentioned data in different perspectives, for example, the forecast perspective, AI perspective, how to feed AI, whatever. The question is, it will be first for Michał for sure, metric of success. What do you measure and how you manage it for better business performance at the end of the day? And also, do you have any idea how to maximize your business margins using AI tools, data, dashboards, automations, and this sort of stuff? For sure, everybody in the industry are struggling with the margins and employment costs. So, what's your idea?
Definitely. So currently, our most important metric that we have is the NPS, the Net Promoter Score. We are collecting roughly 120 to 150 feedbacks per quarter from our clients. Each feedback is collected once every 3 months or 4 months, depending on the on the actual work day the responsible has on this. And basically, every NPS is collected via email or via phone number. via telephone conversation. And our most important focus is to actually make a strategic response plan to those people that are not happy with our services or are in the they're not promoters, not detractors, they are passive. They are passive responders. Secondly, we are looking mostly at how our companies are performing, and our most important metric, most general metric, is the organic traffic year over year. Of course, from one business to another, we have other business metrics such as sales or leads or something else, but those are secondary in terms of how well spread they are. And thirdly, we are looking at something that is called internally for us the communication score, where we are taking into consideration all the email traffic and all the phone call traffic that is between us and the client, and we are calculating some kind of score from 1 to 100, depending on how intensive and how qualitative this communication is. So basically, we are looking at those three indicators in order to evaluate the health of our portfolio, and then the business part on the revenue and monthly recurring revenue. Of course, it's also an important metric that we are following.
If you need to pick one metric like lifetime value, churn, monthly recurring revenue, whatever, which is most important from your CEO perspective?
So the monthly recurring revenue, it's a consequence of us doing our work well. To be honest, we are focusing on the communication. This is the most important metric. We are looking to have a very active communication with our clients, because if there is communication, the NPS will be good, also the performance will be good, the clients will pay, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, any tools for NPS?
No, we build our internal simple quiz, and then there is someone that is picking up the phone and actually calling the clients to ask them how they feel. And that person is not by any chance involved in any projects. They are not involved in the client's project or in other activities.
Okay, thank you. Liraz, any metric which is most important for you?
Well,
how you measure your business?
For us, I would say as an agency point of view, or you want to make it as a...
Yeah, agency point of view.
So I think right now what we're looking at is like a success to from the first call to a signed deal. How is it going? Like for us, the conversion of the actual call when a lead come to us, and if we started basically to convert it to an actual client. And for us, is mostly about getting the team, I would say, more happy at the work and the day-to-day that they're doing, because we want to have people that are, not burned out. We don't want to have people that are constantly changing inside the team all the time, because it's an agency kind of a thing. So for us, we're measuring the success by, the people that we're getting into the agency, but also internally inside the team, how are they functioning on the day-to-day, their mental health state, everything is okay, they're not stressed out. There's if there's some kind of a struggle that they have, with some kind of a campaign or some kind of a dilemma with communication with the client. So we try to solve it, all the time. Internally with brainstorming, or even getting another person into the campaign for, just giving another point of view. So in the end of the day, we just need to measure that we have a steady team growing with us, professional development inside the team. And this is what we are measuring towards the year, giving feedback to the team all the time to make sure that they're evolving all the time within their positions, and also, making sure that they're giving feedback to us as managers to making sure that we're okay. But yeah, this is basically
Thank you very much. So let's move to Christopher. Christopher, I would ask you same question, but from head of SEO perspective and your team perspective. What do you measure inside of team, like hours, deliverabilities, or what churn? What you measure inside of SEO team?
Yeah, I mean, each consultant has a percentage of time that they're using for deliverables. right? So it can be, it could be like 70%, for instance, is usual. The time we expect that they're actually using on consulting with clients, working on clients. And yes, I use the ENPS score as a quantitative measure regarding the team. How stressful are they? How much do they like the workplace? I'm doing monthly one-on-ones with them, going for a walk, checking out. And of course, also as Liraz mentioned, it's very important to make sure that the team is getting educated. So everyone went to the SEO Vibes in Copenhagen last week. That's a good way to get some new information. We're doing monthly meetings where we focus on certain topics. We have an active Slack channel for that. And I think that any good results that we can show in the market, it depends on how well are people in the team. So that's for me as a head of, it's a very important score to measure in this. But of course, as Michael mentioned, of course, looking when you look at clients, what does it take to become a success? We look at clicks, of course, how much traffic can we get, but not maybe more focused on what are we working on? What strategic areas do we want the client to win for, and look at clicks in that area. That's especially something that I like to zoom into when we talk about business metrics.
Yeah, I would like to also introduce a tool to everyone on the webinar. We implemented it in our agency a few years ago. The name is officevibe.com. It's quite interesting psychometrics inside of your team, and the team is getting randomly simple questions like, how do you like coffee in the office, something like that. And based on few questions, they try to make a model of your internal team, their happiness, and who is, for example, struggling with some sort of problem. So you can give them feedback or help them before problem happen. So for sure, it was a great thing for us. Officevibe.com. If you wanna measure somehow happiness inside of your company, for sure go with it. And yeah, so the next one, let's make it quick. One first shot. What has made a difference for you? Share one golden nugget that has helped grow your business in the past 12 months. I mean, tool, procedure, idea that implemented to agency business and help you grow. For example, from my perspective, and what helped me in Vestigio, I came to my team and just said simple code that if we will show the market that we can make money, they will bring us money. Simple. After all, we built a lot of case studies, even a simple one, and our business exploded. So for sure, if you want to prove yourself to the market, build case studies, show your work, for sure it will help us from internal perspective, also inside of the team. For us, the best option was implementation of upsell profit for whole company, like affiliate inside of the company. But they just opened the minds and were looking for business opportunities. And at the end of the day, it was the best for me. So it's my golden nugget to all listeners. Profit, upsell system for the whole company. And the simple quote, if you want to get money, you need to show that you can earn money. Michael, one golden nugget from you.
One golden nugget. It's very hard to focus and to put one thing, because when you look back to 1 year, there are a lot of small things that really add up to the success of an agency. In my perspective, to be honest, to be able to grow, you need to bring in more clients, so to make sales, and then to stop losing the existing one. I mean, or to minimize the loss of existing clients. I wouldn't say that there is one big thing. I could name 10 things, but I wouldn't put them one of them on the highest rank. So we focused on efficiency a lot, to be able to do more with in less time, to be able to use that cognitive energy for the better. We've improved our sales processes. We improved our upsell processes. We improved our reporting, our NPS collection score, a lot of things that, to be honest, I can't isolate to identify which one really made the biggest difference. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, no worry. Thank you. Liraz, one golden nugget.
So we basically started looking at, we were just a SEO agency, but we started looking at more organic kind of an agency. We're doing everything that's relating to organic because we kind of feel that this is where the experience is going for in terms of search. People are they're searching on TikTok these days, they're searching on social media, searching on Reddit. So we're doing everything that's not just SEO, pure SEO, as we used to do like a year ago, but we're opening the services for social media management and, thinking outside of the box for gaining the organic traffic. And I think that's where I think the clients are really appreciating at us, just like not thinking just like pure search engines, but other search engines. But this is what we were doing in the last year or so.
Chris?
Yeah, I mean, not to repeat what everyone else has said, I would say that I'm driving some clients myself, and I've seen that one of our clients has really, they have 10x'd their turnover with us over the last year, and I think actually that one of the keys to that is actually that I'm having monthly work meetings with them in their office, and that's actually quite a big insight for me, because usually when you sit as a consultant, you just sit and you work on the screen, right, online. But actually sitting together with your client and working through SEO tasks with them, which is something where when you're working with clients, they have a lot of things to do at the same time. So it's great to have that time just to go through tasks with them, and there you catch up, you pick up on so many things actually in that about their business. So you really get a business understanding of this. As I said earlier, I've been consulting for 8 years, but with this client, I've never been so consistent with those business meetings, and I think that has been a huge part of driving the value up of this client. So offline work meetings in the client's office, that's my golden nugget.
Thank you very much. So I have last question. It's my personal questions, and then we'll move to Q&A section. So if you have any question to me, to my guests, it's the moment. Start typing. And I have a question. I would like to, and I would love to address it to Niechciał, because I'm thinking about it and struggling with it. And I think a lot of business owners and agency owners are asking the same question to themselves. So the question is, how to prepare your organization to be a sellable asset, which will allow you to exit from your business in the future? Because I truly believe that agency is quite hard to sell and build as an asset or business equity. But maybe you have any ideas like building tools, technology.
You are totally right, Robert. And I can. We've actually done a whole program on this last year. It's called Exit by Choice. It's like a program from US. If someone is interested, I can connect you with the organizers. So it's called Exit by Choice, and it's focused on, they have kind of a module towards digital agencies or companies that sell digital goods, something like this, or that are focused on people, that are people-first businesses. And the answer is rather simple. You just have to transform everything in a process. I mean, as little as you depend on a certain person doing a certain thing, your chances are skyrocketing in order to be a sellable asset. So right now, although it might seem kind of impersonal or something like this, but I would say that 90% of the activities in our agencies can be done by other persons without a big impact in the quality of the end product. Of course, this is something that always the human is making the difference out there. I'm not saying that anyone from the street can come and do those things, but with a similar level of knowledge, if new people are starting in the agency, they really have a way of doing things. So this is basically the first prerequisite on this. And the second one is, of course, to have good financials. If you have a good EBITDA, if you have good, of course, good margins, if your accounting it's correct. I mean, you are not mixing your own finances with the company's finances. You are not buying things with your own use own company money. Then there is still this is also a good point that you can make in a sale. And of course, there are many others on how spread, what is the spread of your monthly recurring revenue? How dependent are you on a certain client or on another? A lot of things, but this can be done. I mean, we had agencies in discussions to be sold or to be bought in Romania. I'm personally involved in this type of discussions with Hungary. So we know this is something that is happening.
Yeah. What's the market shape right now, and what's, let's say, average or typical multiplier for this sort of business right now in Europe?
I wouldn't have enough data to put everything as in Europe, but the common market multiplier for this is 5 or 6 EBITDA.
6 years, 5 or 6 years, yeah.
Yes, 5 or 6 years of EBITDA. This is a multiplier that I have from our agency's activity in Gaida in London, where we've met last year with tens of digital marketing agencies, and also from the activity that we have in CE Digital Alliance with 20-something agencies in Central and Eastern Europe. I have multiple examples of agencies that have been in discussions or also have concluded the transactions around this level, 5 or 6 year of EBITDA.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think you fulfilled the whole question. So let's move on to Q&A. And there's one from Steven Kana. His question is, actually, do you believe that AI automation will take over the lead gen and sales industry? I mean, using less human interaction yet scaling the business. It's hard, but from my perspective, as looking for leads, or let's say nurturing leads or automation on business prospecting, it's possible. But at the end of the day, if you sell expensive services, there should be a human. If you sell just a product like ebooks or something digital, you can automate.
Just think that whatever you can automate, also your competitors can automate. This is not a differentiator anymore. I mean, it's not like a model that you've developed or an AI that there is only you having access to. Everything that you automate, sooner or later, all your competitors will be doing the same thing if it's effective. At the end of the day, people will still make the difference, either in the closing call or on how they think the process, or somewhere else along the road.
Yeah, you're right. The risk is... Oh, sorry.
No, just because we haven't talked about, I love this thing about releasing cognitive energy, because I think in the end, a lot comes down to creativity, originality, whether it's SEO or any other business. And that's where we're going to diversify in the end, when we all can do the same prompting or the same automatics. Of course, right now it's a very new area for many, but just look 1 year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, it's about the human factor of creating, I think.
Liraz?
Well, I do think that there will be less human interaction. The problem is that if it's going to be converting into business, because immediately when I get some kind of interaction, like a bot interaction in my LinkedIn, or just like a minute ago, I just like got something in my email box about some kind of a service that I would for sure will take if it was not automated. For me, just like, I don't know, I just feel that it's like sometimes it's not really connected to really specific things that I do. So I know that they haven't done their research. I just like use their list from LinkedIn or whatever. So it's not doing the work for me. It's not doing the magic for me, as it was like an actual salesperson coming to me and say, hey, listen, like I looked at over your website and saw that you're doing this and this and that. So yes, it's all about human interaction, but it also, I would say, train the AI automation to do the right work and not just like, just spraying, spray and pray, this kind of a method. So, but yeah, we will totally, we're seeing it today with a lot of lead gen. The problem is that if it's converting, that's the problem. For sure it's scaling. The problem is if it's doing a business.
As I see on the private chat, Christopher have to leave. So Christopher, thank you very much for today's call. I will ask one more question to Liraz. Niechciał, thank you very much, and see you shortly
thank you very much.
In Poland.
Yeah, maybe I'll see some of you in Brighton. So that's
Oh, maybe Brighton.
Brighton SEO. Great.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it. So I will sum up it like Niechciał said that if you can automate something, the second part can automate something, and there is the risk of two language models or two AIs that are discussing together, and there is no human factor, and this is the biggest risk for sure. Yeah. But there's few temptations. For example, let's imagine a situation that you have AI for Tinder, which will prepare a date for you for Friday, and there's huge risk at the end of the day that you won't be happy because of this date. And I think it's the same with sales and lead generation. So yeah, and we have last question before we will go offline. So it's a question from Niechciał, actually. Thank you for it. And the question is, what is the state of SEO in Romania compared to English-speaking countries? Yeah, question from the audience, from Niechciał, coming from Andrew. Okay, is the question. I think it's...
Of course, this is the type of question that can be answered from multiple perspectives. I would say that for the moment, it's a bit easier to do SEO in Romania than in English-speaking countries. And I'm talking here purely from the perspective of how good the Google algorithm is compared to those to the English space. Also, the SERP, it's a little bit clear. We don't have all the features that you guys have in the English-speaking countries, and this also comes with an advantage. And thirdly, I would say that the state of SEO, we are still again from the perspectives that I have compared with the London, the UK market, there is a higher competition out there than is in Romania. For example, here in Romania, there are probably 2 or 3 or 4 major players in the whole country in terms of capability to manage high complexity campaigns, while in UK or in other English-speaking countries, we are talking about tens or hundreds of professionals there. Multiple things.
As from let's say Europe perspective, Romania is developing country.
Definitely, it's still developing.
Romania is chasing the West. And for sure,
although I would emphasize that we have access to the same tools, we have access to the same data, we have access to more or less the same type of talent, but
for sure it's a good market to grow, and for sure in 5-10 years it will be great option to build something. And I have last question. Thank you, Michał. Liraz, it will be so open question to you and Michał. I would like to ask you about your final thoughts, anything you want to add to this webinar, and then we will.
Well, yeah, I think that the one thing that we discussed here today is also to not be afraid of technology, not be afraid of evolving yourself, not be afraid to step out of your comfort zone, not be afraid of adding more services or learn a new service, or of course, embrace AI changes. Do anything that you can in order to, I would say, just use more the technology advantage that currently we're very lucky to have. It's like we're living in a very historic time, I would say. So don't be afraid of using it. Don't be afraid of automate things. Don't be afraid of, not doing things as, it's okay to change. It's okay to change. The SERP is changing. The way of people search is changing. So it's really okay just to change your services, to change your core comfort zone, to get help, of course, if you are not sure how to do things. But yeah, this I think that's the main golden kind of a 2 cents that I can just share here, because everything is really blazing fast changing. We're not even tracking things at this moment. So just my 2 cents about it.
What I will emphasize on is that let's not forget that the agency business is still and will remain a human first business model. We had very nice technologies before AI. We will definitely have even more awesome technologies next year or the year after. But still, humans are in the center of everything. So focus on developing your teams. Focus on developing how people are interacting or are using with this technology, and everything will be fine. Will be just fine. No matter what the technology will look like in 2 or 3 years, we will be fine as long as we are open to embrace it and to maximize our cognitive output using technology.
And cognitive space and resources. I will repeat myself once again, but it's important, I guess. It's the best moment for us to be the best in something. It's a once of a lifetime opportunity. So for sure, do it. If you are looking for more knowledge and more perspective, come to Poland. I've built the agenda and we will touch every aspect of SEO and digital business, from CMO of Microsoft to Michał, Liraz, Koray Tukber-Gubur, and a lot of more speakers. So yeah, thank you very much. And I invite you personally to Poland. It's my country. I love to invite everybody here and show my Polish cuisine, Polish liquors. So yeah,
awesome. We'll definitely be there. Also to everyone for watching us, and hopefully you've got some ideas and some inspiration from our talk.
Yes, thank you so much, and I hope to see some of you in the conference.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so okay. Hi guys. Thanks once again for joining. Thank you for being here with us. As I promised, and this is also, of course, a shout out to our audience, you will receive an email with a link recording of this webinar. And if the webinar interested you, be sure to follow us to see more content like that. And now our lucky winner of our super fast quiz. The question was, as of today, how many participants are registered for our conference? And the answer is 349. So not too shabby. And the person that has the greatest divination skill was Ivana Polcowa. So it is my greatest pleasure to announce, Ivana, that you are the winner. So if you be so kind, please contact our event manager, Szymon Ciurla. His email address has been pasted into the chat, so be sure to reach out to him. And to wrap things up, a massive shout out to all our guests, Liraz, Christopher, Mihai, Robert, thank you for being here. I am super excited to see you all in less than a month during SEO Vibes conference. And that concludes our webinar. So thanks you once again for joining us, and we'll see you next time, hopefully.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Total of 19 events across Europe. meeting with nearly 2,000 SEO experts and marketers. The biggest event in Zakopane received a staggering rating of 9.16 out of 10. Our initiative is recommended by industry stars from all around the world, such as Matt Digety, Kyle Roof, Robert Niechciał. This year, we're aiming even higher. To say it's going to be big is just an understatement. We'll see you in between May 15th and 18 at SEO Vibes Poland in Białka Tatrzańska. We're introducing a new format inspired by top festivals. The main stage will be filled with global stars, while the marketing stage will be packed with case studies, a perfect place to gain valuable knowledge from quick lectures. If you prefer an intimate atmosphere and a different format, we've got you covered. We've prepared masterminds and several workshops led by renowned experts like Koray Tukber-Gubur, Ewelina Podres-Siama, Damian Sałkowski. Want to relax after such a wealth of knowledge? We have planned relaxation at the highest level, thermal baths, jacuzzis, saunas, and one of the top hotels in the region. We bet this will be the best event of the year.